Alright folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. It always is. I hope you're doing well. That makes it day 7 for us now over at the French Open. We've got 8 of the best lined up for us today. As always, we're going to go through each and every one of these matches, see if there's anything we like on the side as we go along. Before we get started, like the video if you would. Get yourself subscribed to the channel if you're not. I'd appreciate it if you did. It seems to me that we're making a rather decent push on 1.4k. Yeah, crazy. 4 or 5 days ago it weren't even 1.2. Now it's nearly 1.4. Very, very grateful, very pleased with that. Thank you very much. But yeah, get yourself involved if you're not currently. I'd love to have you. I promise you that. But now that's out the way. First things first. As always, let me know how did we get on yesterday. There was nothing from me personally, just an outright day. Sat on them. Happy days. Musetti and Alcaraz both got it done. In good shape. All 3 of them still live and breathe. It's looking good. Don't want to say too much. Don't want to jinx it. But yeah, let me know. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you just come close? Most importantly, did we enjoy the games? But anyway, it's enough of that. Let's talk about these today. Got some decent ones, quite a few decent ones here to touch on. So first off, you've got Griekspoor and Ethan Quinn. Never played each other before. It's got to be Griekspoor in this one. It has. Although I will say I'm rather impressed with Ethan Quinn. I didn't think he'd make it this far, but let's just touch on that really quick. He was decent in qualifying. Mark Liel, Tomic, and then Thiago Tirante. He played Dimitrov in the first round. Dimitrov pulled out. So yeah, I think he was rather lucky to run into a fairly fucked up Dimitrov in that one. I didn't think he would have won that if he was fully fit. But I don't know. Dimitrov's been getting beat. He's been getting beat a little bit this season, so maybe. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. More importantly, the game after that, round 2, Alexander Shevchenko. 5 sets, 3-2, Ethan Quinn. Barely got past him. Now, we did get past him, that's all that matters, but if you're going to struggle, it's the way I'm thinking about it, if you're going to struggle that much against an Alexander Shevchenko, I could only assume it's going to be 10 times worse for you against someone like Griekspoor. He was decent enough against Marcus Giron. I say decent enough, I mean for his standard anyway. Looked a bit shaky in that first set, and then came back and just pummeled him. And then pretty much the same against Gabe Diallo. Won the first 2, dropped the third 6-1. That's alright, because he came back and won the fourth, both of them 3-1. Fairly decent games. Griekspoor just doing what he does. He was at tiebreak, wasn't he? Yeah, tiebreak against Diallo, and I don't think he had one against Marcus Giron. Nearly in the fourth, not quite. I think it should be easy. I say easy, I don't want to write the kid off. It'd be great if Ethan Quinn won this. I imagine there'll be a few in the comments that'll be wanting them to win this. You've got to back your boy, haven't you? I suppose if you're from the States. But there's just levels, isn't there? I say it all the time, there's just sheer levels to this game. I would imagine Griekspoor should be able to wrap that one up rather comfortably. 1.2, a little bit steep. I mean, if you wanted to look at the spread, that'll be around 5.5, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going off the odds, what I've got in front of me. I don't think that'll be enough. I don't think it'll be enough. But then again, I haven't paid that much attention to Ethan Quinn to completely write him off. An upset is most definitely not out of the picture. It's been upset after upset all week. We've witnessed it, we've seen it, we've been a part of it. This could be one, but I wouldn't be willing to bet on it at all. Griekspoor 1.2 would be the very, very small parlay piece if I was very desperate for a little something extra. And yeah, that'll do us on that one. I feel like there's not much more to say really, is there? So we'll crack on to Jannik Sinner, Yuri Lehecka. Jannik Sinner once again quite a big favourite, but he's not 1.01 this time now. As a matter of fact, he's 1.07. Being very, very generous with the Sinner price today. Thank you, bookmakers. I mean, what the fuck do you want me to say about this? Played him 3 times before, beat him every time, straight sets. He was a tiebreaker last time out in Beijing, but apart from that, Lehecka's never really come close to beating Jannik Sinner. First time he played was on the clay, 2019, and the formula remains the same with Jannik Sinner. If Sinner's beaten him on the clay in 2019, probably gonna beat him on the clay 2015, and now Lehecka. I mean, we said he'd beat Djokovic for Kina, but I did anyway. I mean, I took him for a set on the parlay, but above all, he always was the better player. He is the better player. I didn't really understand what I say. I don't understand why he was a dog. To some extent, I do, but realistically, I feel like Lehecka always looked like he was gonna win that game, and he was decent against Jordan Thompson too. Although that weight doesn't hold as much weight as the win against Djokovic Fekina. I'll be honest. Seems to be picking it up a little bit. Well, since he started in Germany. Went 2-1, and then he's won 2 here. Back-to-back games in his last 2 tournaments. That's a lot more than what we've seen out of him for the past couple of months. And I'm rather pleased about that. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do when Jannik Sinner is about. It may be a bit closer. I imagine it's going to be a lot closer than the Artur Rinderknech game, and then the Richard Gasquet match. Most definitely closer than that. Is it enough for me to take Lehecka on the spread? I don't know what it is. Is it a stupid one, like an 8.5, a 9.5? You could cover that. If it's really big, I'll check in a minute, and then if it's pinned, it's pinned. But Lehecka on the spread would be a very slight lean, and I do mean the slightest of leans. But I wouldn't be surprised, and neither would you, if Jannik Sinner just come out here and just wipe the floor with this lad. So I'd approach that one with severe caution. 1.07, absolutely not. It's not for me. And then next up we've got Zverev. Alexander Zverev, Flavio Cobolli. Yeah, and Zverev 1.2, that's a really big favourite, man. Really big favourite. Safe to say, big expectations for Zverev for this tournament, is it not? He looked decent against Lehecka, he looked decent against Jesper de Jong, and I'd love to sit here and praise him for it, but I expected nothing less. Nothing less. I feel like you don't really start appreciating Zverev in these kind of spots till it gets to the quarters or the semis, but Lehecka and Jesper de Jong, that should always be light work for someone of the calibre of Zverev. Flavio Cobolli, you cannot sleep on this kid at the moment. You can't. This lad's impossible at the moment. Not only that, bagged himself, 2 clay titles already? Yeah, 2 clay titles. He's already coming off the title in Hamburg, and then he came in, beat Marin Cilic, and then we had a feeling he'd probably get it done against Matteo Arnaldi. He's just got fitness for days, bags of it. Big dog in this as well. 5.2, depending where, 5.2 on Pinnacle. I don't know whether that's the same. It may change, but I haven't got Pinnacle. It's around 4.8, 4.7 for me over here in the UK. Do I think Flavio Cobolli beats Zverev? They've never played each other before. 15-5 on the clay for the Italian, 16-6 for Zverev. His last few games, especially, come clay season, Zverev's been okay, 16-6. That's a lot better than what most can say. He did get the title wrapped up over in Munich. Fairly decent run as well. Beat the likes, Griekspoor, Madison, Ben Shelton in the final. Smoked Shelton in the final, we remember that. But ever since winning that title in Munich, Batista Agut, Djokovic Fekina, got whooped by Cerundolo in Madrid. He won 3 games in Rome, got him whooped by Musetti. 1-1 in Hamburg when he got beat by Alexander Muller. Now, we could probably use the excuse he was looking ahead to the Roland-Garros, so maybe that's not as bad as what it seems. Did drop a set to de Jong. First set as well, 6-3, come out a little bit slow. I feel like you're going to get a lot more resistance from the other side of the court from someone like Flavio Cobolli as opposed to his previous two opponents. Like I said, you can't deny the form. You can't deny the form. On the day, I would always imagine Zverev should be able to win a match like this, but no one's been able to beat Flavio Cobolli at the moment. But then again, if you look at the run that he's on currently, Sachko, Davidovich Fokina, Batista Agut, Echeverry, Rublev, who looked like Publev in the final, and then Cilic and Arnaldi, not quite the level of, Grand Slam Zverev, are they, if we're being honest. So Zverev at 1.2, I don't fancy it. It's quite a price to pay for him to potentially just shit the bed. So, and even if he does, you'll be looking at that going, well, Cobolli is the guy in form. He's the informed man at the moment. Have a little look on the spread. Cobolli for a set. I'm not too sure. I'm looking forward to watching it though. Nonetheless, it'll be a decent game. Over 3.5. Cobolli for a set. Slight leans. I haven't got anything solid for that one, but we shall move on. I'm missing a game here. What one's missing? It's not next up, but right, it's alright. I've identified the problem. We'll touch on that in a sec. But next off is probably the one that, well, I speak for myself anyway. I can't wait for this one. I'm looking forward to this one the most. Just dead quickly, I know we did say I'd probably end up doing a watch along for this one. I have got a night shift tonight. I'll see what time I finish in the morning and how I feel when I get up, if I've had enough sleep, and we'll do one. But I did think it was going to be the late game. I don't know why it's not. It's most definitely the prime time match of the day. And they've given it to fucking Djokovic and Filip Misolic. Can you believe that? Yeah. But yeah, if we don't do one tomorrow, we'll definitely do one. There'll be other chances for either one of these or pretty much whoever for the rest of the week. So we'll sort that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, we've got João Fonseca and Jack Draper. Can't wait. Can't wait for this. Who's it going to be, folks? Who is it going to be? Now, straight off the bat, you know exactly who I'm going for on this. It's got to be Jack Draper. It's got to be Jack Draper. I mean, 1.5 for Jack Draper against João Fonseca. I'm having deja vu. I feel like I'm having a little bit of deja vu. Didn't we see this not that long ago? We seen this not that long ago over at Indian Wells. I'm pretty sure we did. Hard court, alright, different circumstances, admittingly, but it just all feels so familiar. It feels so familiar. It's just Fonseca this, Fonseca that, the he said, she said bullshit. And what did he do last time? Absolutely nothing. And he didn't even start off that bad either. He came out quite alright, but before you know it, he was staring at a fucking bagel in the second set. Easy as you like. What do you want me to say? I don't want to say too much because I don't want all the Brazilians to come and fucking crucify me in the comments, because we know you can't have a bad word said about this kid. And look, this is nothing personal to him. I know he's a good player. I like him. He's a really good player. He's fantastic. I feel like the hype probably does you no favours sometimes. But, that's not his fault. You can't help that. He does bring a massive following with him, somewhat of a travelling circus. It's like fucking Barnum and Bailey on them courts, isn't it, when them fans are there. Will that make that much of a difference? I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, you'd have thought it would have made a difference eventing against Monfils. That crowd was electric. That entire stadium wanted him to win that. They were celebrating every point. And he just didn't have any answer. I didn't think he would anyway. I mean, he went, he got 5 sets the game before, didn't he? So, yeah, I always felt like the writing was on the wall with Gael Monfils in that one, but like I say, we've seen it. You've seen the tables turn. He had his moments. Jack Draper, too much on the day. Same with Matteo Bellucci, but I don't really rate that win as much as a win against Gael Monfils. He has dropped a set in both of them, and I feel like he's managed to just cruise past each one without playing, like, he's not playing exactly the best tennis. But even when Jack Draper's not playing his best tennis, his level is still a lot higher than the majority. It really is. Fonseca's come into this, prior to this tournament, he was on a 3-game losing streak. And use all whatever excuses you want. He was on a 3-game losing streak. Tommy Paul, Jesper de Jong, Fabio Madison didn't win one set in either one. He's come into this. He's took out Hubert Hurkacz in 3. And once again, Hubert Hurkacz, how much did we expect from him coming off that title run, just playing the final against Djokovic? Pretty much 3 tiebreaks as well. It was 2 and a 7-5. So how much he had left in the tank, I'm not too sure. And then the second round, he played Lemon Sherbet. Got that one done in 3. Admittingly, quite a good result. 2 tiebreakers and a 6-4. You're going to war with Pierre Hughes Herbert. And that's not impersonal, it's no disrespect, but you're going to war with Pierre Hughes Herbert. 2 tiebreakers and a 6-4. Very fine margins with Pierre Hughes Herbert. I think Jack Draper's just going to beat him again. I do. Let's not forget, he's just got to, what was it, the final in Madrid, quarterfinals in Rome, something like that. Final in Madrid, quarterfinals in Rome. Done. Easy. 1.5. What am I missing? You're going to say, like, oh, Joao Fonseca, that he's a lot better on the clay. He's a lot more suited on the clay. Fair enough. Will he have a slightly better chance at beating Jack Draper on the clay? Possibly. Will he? I wouldn't have thought so. Everyone said he was going to beat him last time, and he got fucking slapped up and sent back to New Beach over in Rio. So there's only one way for me on this. It's the Jack Draper way. The time is now. The time is Jack Draper squad. Where are we? It's happening, innit? 1.5. I'll have that. I'll stick that on a little parlay. Don't mind if I do. Let me know what you're going for on that. And then next up, we've got Alexander Bublik. Enrique Rocha. Should be an interesting one. Really quick, really fast. I just want to give a quick shout out to Enrique Rocha. I did not expect him to get this far. He looked rather decent in qualifying. I wasn't so sure he was going to get past there. I didn't think he'll get past Basilashvili. I'll be honest with you, I didn't. I took Basilashvili to win because I thought he was going to win. And he didn't because he couldn't. Good stuff. Tough game. Fine margins. 5 sets. Got the win. That's all that mattered. And look, if I didn't think he was going to beat Basilashvili, then it's rather obvious that I thought he stood next to no chance when it came up. When it came to playing Jakob Mensah. But it was the same story. 3-2. Just managing to grind them out and just outlast these players. That's a great fucking job. That nice work, brother. I would have said if you could beat Mensah, if you can deal with the serve and Mensah and whatnot, you'd probably be able to deal with Bublik. Am I right? But like I mentioned the other day, it's been quite a while since we've seen Bublik play this good, and he is playing good. He's just coming off a title himself prior to this tournament. Took out James Duckworth and then pulled off the comeback. Quite an impressive comeback, I may add, against Alex de Minaur in the second round. Someone even said it in the comments, I can't remember, but I think Demon got knocked out a round early. I totally agree. I was expecting at least round of 16. He comes in around the 1.3 favourites and shits the bed, but no. Bublik's just put him away like that. Now we're getting Bublik at 1.3. That's very steep. That's very steep in my opinion. Now, I understand the experience and whatnot. The Bublik that we know of seasons gone past. Not even that long ago, really. He was just in a bit of a shitter, weren't he, towards the end of last season. But, how things change in a matter of a few months. If this was 4 or 5 months ago, you never would have been getting Bublik at 1.3. No fucking chance, because he'd lost about 50 games in a row. But he's definitely turned it around come clay season. I will give it that. And look, if you can beat Alex de Minaur, you can probably beat Enrique Rocha, right? I'll say this about Rocha, but I suppose if I'm saying it about him, the same somewhat applies to Bublik. It wouldn't be fair to say it about one without the other. Both coming off rather spectacular wins, you know what I mean? I didn't expect Bublik to win that, and I certainly didn't expect Rocha to beat Mensah. It's very hard to replicate a high level performance like that, especially when you probably didn't even expect it from yourself in the first place. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? I've actually got absolutely nothing for this. I do not know. I'm looking forward to watching it and seeing how it pans out, but I don't know. Is Bublik playing as good as what we think he is? I'd say so. But Rocha, man, has just been taking out everyone. And like I said, if you can beat Mensah, I'd have thought you'd at least stood a really good chance against Alexander Bublik, so we'll leave that one there. Who have we got next? Who's the one that we were missing? It's Andrei Rublev. That's a feast. I'm looking forward to this one. Well, kind of looking forward to this one. I've got a couple of concerns regarding this matchup, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Artifice looked a bit shaky, didn't he, in set 3 and set 4? What was up with him? Was he injured or something? I can't fucking remember. I mean, showed a hell of a lot of grit to pull that one off, though. I mean, pull it off, rather. That was just one of them games. You've seen him lose them from that spot time and time again in past seasons. But not against Munar. He was very, very good. I say he'll be feeling himself after that. I think he can beat Rublev. We all know, there's no doubt he's got the game to beat Rublev. Just a couple of concerns regarding the fitness in it, I suppose. He was really struggling until he weren't. So it's always going to be a concern. Not only that, it's Andrei Rublev, man, innit? It's Andrei Rublev. Obviously, I'm going to sit here and say he should be able to get one over on Artifice, especially if Artifice comes out not fully fit, if he's struggling for whatever reason. But fucking Rublev, man, is just... He is impossible. He's impossible at the moment. Now, he probably should, but it kills me to say it. It's quite obvious, innit? I mean, it's not exactly a hot take. I'm not really expecting Rublev to go much further in this tournament, if anything. If Artifice hadn't looked the way he did in those couple of sets against Jaromir Munar, I'd have just taken him. But what I will say is this. Remember yesterday's video when we were talking about Kachanov and Tommy Paul? And I said I wanted to take Tommy Paul, but he was a little bit injured, so I didn't. And look what he done today. It's just will Artifice do the same? It's very possible. Tommy Paul was visibly hampered. We all knew he was. Artifice, I'm not too sure. He looked it, but I don't know if anything's come out since. So, if you've got any information regarding the current state of the Frenchman, please do let me know. With there being a couple of injury concerns, I couldn't go near Artifice, and just as much with it being Andrei Rublev, I couldn't go near him either. So for that reason, I'm out. I'm just out on that one. Maybe the over 3.5 sets. Maybe look at Artifice as a little doggo on the points. I don't know. Don't really like to fade Rublev because, as we always say, he's still Rublev. If he just wants to turn up, no pressure, and just play his game, he'll beat Artifice. He'll beat most people. But he just won't let himself do that. He won't let himself do that for whatever reason. So I'll be staying off of it. I wish you the best of luck if you're having a go on that one. I imagine it'll be a bit of a fucking nail biter if you've got cash on it, but decent watch nonetheless. And then we've got 2 more. Last one should be really quick. You don't know what that one is. But this one's Cam Norrie and Jacob Fearnley. Now, apart from Joao Fonseca and Jack Draper, I'm looking really, really forward to this one too. Got ourselves a little battle of the Brits here. Who's it going to be? It comes down to one or two things, I suppose. I mean, should you go with the experience of Cam Norrie, or would you go with, let's say, the current explosion of Jacob Fearnley? Who knows how high the ceiling is with this lad? He's most definitely the up-and-comer in British tennis as opposed to Cam Norrie. And I'm not saying Cam Norrie's finished because he's far from it, but we know what we're going to get. When he plays good, we know the level of good. And when he's playing shit, you kind of know what's coming, don't you? But Jacob Fearnley, been very impressed. I've been very impressed with this lad so far this year. 22-12 on the season, 10-5 on the clay. Considering this is his first season on the clay, never played on it before on the tour. 10-5. That's solid. That's solid. I mean, first season on the clay, you've already beat Carbage Baena, Thomas Mahatch, Fabio Fognini, Dusan Lazovic, Stan Wawrinka. That's alright. That's alright. He was beating Hugo Humbert as well, but he ended up pulling out. So, my point being, Jacob Fearnley's a lot better than we all expected him to be. He really is. Cam Norrie, that game against Medvedev, a lot of people wrote him off. Everyone was writing him off against Federico Gomez. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people was just saying, like, Gomez on the points, Gomez this, Gomez that. Kind of touching on that it may have been a bit of a fluke against Medvedev that had more to do with Medvedev just shitting the bed rather than Cam Norrie just grinding that one out. But he made his next game look even easier, didn't he? He really did. Experience versus the unknown talent, and there's definitely a lot of talent, but will the experience prevail? I imagine they'll be rather familiar with each other, even though they've never played each other on the tour before. They've most definitely trained and whatnot. They most definitely know each other. I refuse to believe they don't. I don't know. Is Cam Norrie just going to come over and big brother him? I don't know. It's possible. Jacob Fearnley going to be a bit too much, bit too agile, bit too nimble on the day. Cam Norrie's played a lot of tennis lately, man. So is Jacob Fearnley. But he is a bit younger. 6 years to be exact. We did see Cam Norrie get to the semi-finals in Geneva last time out before he got beat by Djokovic after taking a set. Jacob Fearnley got beat by Popperin round of 16. Not much to separate the two whatsoever. Getting Cam Norrie around 1.8. Apart from that, odds are split right down the middle. Most places you're going to look. Either one for a set, over 3.5 sets. I quite like Jacob Fearnley. I don't know why. I've got a bit of a soft spot for him, I suppose, haven't I? Dare I admit it, but I'm not picking out with much conviction. Cam Norrie probably should be beating him, just based on experience alone. But it doesn't always mean that's going to be the case, does it? Stranger things have happened. It really is a coin flip. Such a coin flip. I don't think either one gets it done in straight sets. The over on the sets is probably the best way to look on that. And then we're going to wrap this shit up with a nice and quick one. Filip Misolic and Djokovic. That's right. Now Misolic has been playing good. 9 of his last 10. Flew through qualifying, didn't drop a set. Beat Boo 3-1 and then got it done against El Chapo 3-2. I mean, he won the first 2 sets and he won the first 2 in tiebreakers, then dropped the fucking second, dropped the third and fourth, pardon me, and then ended up winning the 5th. Decent result. We all know El Chapo was a decent player, but as much as it kills me to say it, he's very beatable on the clay, as you know. He's a very, very beatable opponent. You know, it's just an upset waiting to happen with El Chapo on the clay. Is Misolic gonna beat Djokovic? Yes or no? I think the answer is no. Is an upset completely off the cards? I mean, I'd love to say no, but this is one of them games. You know, we get them every now and then. I always say I think the sky would have to fall in order for Djokovic to get beat in the French Open by Filip Misolic. I do. Not shitting on him, it's not impersonal. I'm not disregarding the form, because like I say, he is in one hell of a run of form. But beating all these challenger players, winning the challenger title, beating the challenger players, getting beat by Luka Van Asch, and then since Luka Van Asch, you've had Draxl, Neumayer, Shevchenko, Boo, El Chapo. No, absolutely not. You're not going to beat Djokovic. I refuse to believe it. But what if he did? No, let's not let's not even bother. 1.02 for Djokovic. There you have it. This one picks itself. There's no point going on about that. There's no point. It's got to be Djokovic. It has to be Djokovic. It's probably the only outcome. If you want to roll the dice, take Misolic on the spread as a bit of a value pick, you know. Sit there and hope he wins X amount of games, then be my Christopher Guest. But I won't be touching that one. I'm not too sure what I'm going for, but that is going to do us tonight. I'll decide what I'm taking, and as always, it will be in the pinned comment if anyone's even still watching. But Sam, then, very well. I'll be saying good night to you folks. One more night shift for me. One more night, as Phil Collins says. Should be rather quick. Like I said, I might do that. Might do that watch along for the Draper match. I'll see what time I'm up, see how I'm feeling. If not, we'll pick this shit up tomorrow night, and we'll sort out what we're gonna do a watch along for either Sunday or Monday or whatever. It's all good. Don't be worrying about it. But take it easy, yeah. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. It's the most important thing. And you like and subscribe, yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe. Appreciate it if you did. Let's go get that cash today. Jack Draper squad. Where are we? Enjoy the matches, folks. I'll see you tomorrow, yeah.